My parents looked at my 5-year-old daughter and said, "We're done raising your mistake. Get out and never come back." Then they shoved us out the door into a blizzard. 3 hours later, there was a knock at their door. They opened it and started screaming. If you're wondering how orange juice turned into homelessness, same. It started at 10:45 at night. The house was asleep, quiet. Snow was coming down sideways outside. Mia couldn't sleep. She was 5, which meant she had opinions now. Questions. The emotional range of a tiny CEO who just discovered betrayal. "I don't like the wind," she whispered. "It's just weather," I whispered back. I picked her up and carried her down the hallway. Waking up my parents at night was like poking a bear. The house was tense even when it was quiet. That kind of quiet where everyone's holding their breath, waiting for me to mess up. We made it to the kitchen. I flipped on the smallest light. Moved like a thief in my own house. Poured Mia a small cup of orange juice because it usually made her settle. Then I heard it. Footsteps on the stairs. Mom appeared, her voice sharp and tired. "What are you doing?" "She couldn't sleep," I said quietly. My sister Ashley appeared too. 17. Old enough to know better, young enough to think the world owed her silence. "Are you kidding me?" Ashley hissed. "I have school. Some of us actually have plans." I apologized automatically. Family religion. Apologize first. Explain never. Ashley stepped into the kitchen. "Can you please just keep it down?" Mia's hands were small and clumsy. Shaking. She reached for the cup. Her fingers slipped. The cup tipped. Orange juice spilled onto the carpet. One beat of silence. Dad's footsteps hit the stairs hard. Mom gasped like the house had been stabbed. Ashley went cold. "Are you serious?" I dropped to my knees with towels. "It's okay. It's fine. I'll fix it." Mia's lip trembled. "I'm sorry." "It's okay, baby." Dad moved like he'd been waiting for this. Like he'd been sitting there his whole life waiting for orange juice to give him permission. "I'm done," he said. "I'm done with this." Mom backed him immediately. "This house is not a daycare. We are sick of your mess." "I'll clean it," I said. "It was an accident." "She's 5. Ashley added fuel. "She can't even control her own kid." Dad's eyes fixed on Mia. Not like she was a child. Like she was evidence. Then he said it. "We are done raising your mistake. Get out and never come back." For a second, my brain just stalled. What do you do when someone says your child is a mistake? Like it's a fact. I stared at them from the floor, orange juice soaking into the carpet. "Dad." My voice sounded far away. "It's snowing. Where are we supposed to?" "I don't care," he said. Mom didn't look at me. She looked at the carpet like the carpet was the victim. I kept thinking, they'll cool down. Someone will stop this. Nobody stopped it. Dad grabbed bags like he'd practiced this. Mom yanked Mia's coat off a hook. Dad twisted the house key off my keyring. "These aren't yours anymore. Just let us stay tonight," I said. "Please." "You will not," Ashley said. Dad opened the door. Cold punched in. Snow blew sideways into the hallway. Mia whimpered. They pushed us out. The door shut. The lock clicked. It wasn't the shouting that broke me. It was that small, final sound. Mia started crying. Full body shaking sobs. She looked at the orange stain on her sleeve. "I'm sorry. It's my fault." I crouched down, wiping her cheeks. "No. Never your fault. Do you hear me? Never." Inside my head, panic screamed. I have no plan. I have no one. I have a child. I hauled the bags to my cheap car and got Mia buckled in. My hands were shaking so badly I fumbled the latch. Phone battery low. Bank account basically a joke. I searched my brain for names to call. It was late. Storming. Everyone I knew had warm homes they didn't want to complicate. So I started the car. Because sitting still felt like dying. I aimed for the nearest place that meant lights and heat. Cheap motel. 24-hour diner. Anywhere that wouldn't kick us out for being too sad. The road was slick. Snow was coming down hard. Mia sniffled in the back seat. "Where are we going?" "An adventure," I said. Because mothers lie to keep the world from collapsing. Mia didn't laugh. I was so focused on keeping the car straight that I didn't see the other headlights until ice. A blur. Another car slid. The impact hit hard. Mia screamed. Then it cracked into sobbing. I twisted around, hands shaking. Talk to me, baby. Are you hurt? Where do you hurt? She shook her head hard, crying. I'm scared. I scanned her. No blood. Nothing obvious. Just fear. A woman approached through the snow. Steady. Not panicking. She looked in my back seat. Saw Mia's face. Saw the bags. Saw everything. She asked quietly, why are you out in this weather with a 5-year-old? I tried to lie. Then couldn't. We got kicked out. Tonight. Her face changed. What's your name? Olivia. Her eyes flicked to my face. Olivia Brooks. I froze. I haven't seen you since. She stopped. Where did you go? How did she know my last name? Let me back up. I learned early that my role in the house wasn't daughter. It was buffer. Ashley cried. My parents soothed. I achieved. My parents moved on. If Ashley was upset, the universe stopped. If I was upset, I was told to be mature. I learned to shrink. Because taking up space always cost me. Sophomore year, I got into a state university Future Scholars Research Mentorship Program. Real work. Every Saturday on campus. Data collection. Presentations. Reports. And a weekly one-on-one mentor meeting. 15 minutes that felt like oxygen. Someone who asked me what I wanted, not what I'd done wrong. I kept one thing from that program. My Future Scholars badge on a blue lanyard. I never wore it again, but I never threw it away. Back then, I thought my life was finally opening. Then I fell for Dylan. Sweet when it was easy, distant when it got real. He made me feel chosen after living in a house where I was mostly tolerated. When I found out I was pregnant, my first thought was, I can still do this. Still finish school. Still be me. I was 15. Dylan was 17. He promised he'd be there. Then stopped replying. Later, he moved to Europe for college. I haven't heard from him since. I thought the hardest part would be telling my parents. I was wrong. I told them in the kitchen, hands shaking. There was a pause. Just long enough for hope. Then my mother's face changed. Not anger. Disgust. My father didn't ask if I was okay. He asked who knew. They didn't say, how can we help? They said, do you know what people will think? You embarrassed us. Ashley watched like it was entertainment. I expected punishment. I didn't expect erasure. They decided I wouldn't go back to school. Then it became homeschool. Then, you're not going back at all. They said it was to avoid gossip. To keep the family respected. Like my body was a billboard and my baby was a scandal. They pushed me to drop the mentorship program immediately. I tried to fight it. Just let me finish the semester. My father said, if you weren't smart enough to avoid getting pregnant, you're not smart enough for college. The program moved on without me. I stopped showing up. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Mia was born and I loved her fiercely. But in that house, love didn't protect you. My parents treated Mia like noise. Mess. Inconvenience. Ashley got a normal teen life. I got exhaustion and reminders that I owed them. I promised my daughter she was never a mistake. And then 5 years later, she spilled orange juice. Back in the car, Mia's voice came small. Mommy, are we going home? We're going somewhere warm, I said. Outside, the woman didn't look angry. She looked alert. She leaned so Mia could see her face. Her eyes flicked over Mia. Quick, checking. Is she hurt? No. She's just scared. Mia made a small broken sound. The woman nodded. Okay. Snow hissed across the glass. I'm sorry, I blurted. I didn't see you. It's a bumper. Don't worry about it. I stared at her. Most people worry about bumpers. I hit you. You misjudged in a storm. That happens. Then, how old is she? 5. Her expression tightened. Not at me. At the 5. Hi, sweetheart. What's your name? Mia looked at me like she was asking if we were allowed to speak. Mia, I said. Her name is Mia. Hi, Mia. I'm Rebecca. Then she looked at me. Olivia, where were you headed? A motel. And after that, my throat tightened. I don't know. She waited. My parents kicked us out. Tonight. Something shifted in her face. Anger deciding where to land. In this weather. I nodded. Rebecca exhaled. Okay. You're not driving anywhere else tonight. I have to. I don't have. I heard you. You don't have anywhere. That's why you're not driving. She pointed toward a parking lot. Hazards on. Pull in. Slow. I'll follow you. My pride tried to sit up, but Mia whispered, Mommy. And my pride sat back down. Rebecca parked behind me. She took 2 quick photos, then tucked her phone away. I got out. The cold hit hard. I'm really sorry. It's fine. Is her car seat secure? Yes. Good. Do you have your keys? My car key, yeah. My house key, no. He took it. Her jaw tightened. Okay. She pulled out a blanket and spread it across her back seat. Hey, she said softly. Come sit here. We're getting warm. Mia climbed in. Her breathing finally slowed. I grabbed our bags. Dropped one. Rebecca picked it up and handed it to me. Lock your car. I did. Then I slid into the front seat, heart still racing. As we drove, my brain caught up. It remembered what she'd said at the crash. Brooks. Rebecca drove in calm silence, then asked, Do you have any friends you can call? No. She nodded. Okay. We pulled up to a modest house with warm lights. Nothing flashy. Just stable. Inside, heat wrapped around us. Mia sagged under the blanket. Rebecca came back with thick socks and hot chocolate. Mia blinked up at her. Are you nice? Rebecca paused. I'm trying. Is that okay? Mia looked at me. I nodded. Yeah, baby. Sit, Rebecca said. I sat on the edge of the couch, still in my coat, still braced. My hands wouldn't stop trembling, so I opened my bag. And the blue Future Scholars lanyard peeked out. My face went hot. Of course I still had it. I shoved it down fast. Rebecca's eyes flicked to it. She went still. Just for a beat. Then she stepped into the light. And my brain finally caught up. Her posture. Her voice. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered. Her expression softened. It's me. Dr. Morgan. The room tilted. Dr. Rebecca Morgan. My mentor 5 years ago. The one adult who'd looked at me like I had a future. Mia yawned and slid sideways, too tired to notice my brain combusting. Dr. Morgan kept her voice low. Where did you go? Life happened. She waited. The truth came out in pieces. Pregnant at 15. Pulled out of school. No diploma. No program. No goodbye. Years stuck. Tonight's lockout. I waited for disgust. It didn't come. She nodded once. What's still in that house that you need? My wallet. Mia's school papers. I stopped. My EpiPen. Shellfish allergy. Dr. Morgan didn't let me shrug it off. No. We're not gambling with that. I'm not going back there. Of course you're not. We'll get what you need. She called non-emergency. I caught fragments. Lockout. Minor child. Emergency medication. Then my phone lit up. Dad. Then Mom. I answered. Hello. My dad shouted. What did you do? We had police at our door. Mom cut in. How dare you call police on your own parents? The old reflex, apologize, shrink, tried to climb up my spine. I looked at Mia. Finally asleep. I called because I needed my EpiPen. That's it. Dad scoffed. Always a story. I'm hanging up. They talked over each other. Louder. Uglier. I hit end. Later, an officer brought back the essentials. Took a brief statement. When the door closed, the quiet felt different. Not the quiet before punishment. The quiet after survival. Dr. Morgan asked, Are you hungry? It was so normal it almost broke me. Later, after Mia was tucked in and my EpiPen was placed somewhere I could grab fast, I said, Thank you. We'll find somewhere tomorrow. Dr. Morgan looked at Mia, then at me. You can stay here. Until you're stable. Until you're safe. Mia's eyes fluttered open. Can we stay? I still didn't know why she was doing this. I only knew what it felt like to imagine morning without fear. The next morning, Mia slept on Dr. Morgan's couch. I sat upright, staring at my phone. No calls. No texts. The silence was suspicious. Dr. Morgan slid coffee toward me. Where do you work? Grocery store. Stocking. Mornings. And your schedule today? I missed it. We'll call. We. That word landed like a door unlocking. She put the phone on speaker. I explained. Weather. Accident. Emergency. My manager grumbled, but the shift stayed mine. Mia wandered in. Are we still here? Yeah, baby. I kissed her forehead. Are they still mad? We're safe. Mia accepted that like kids do. After I dropped Mia at school, I stood in Dr. Morgan's kitchen like a person waiting to be yelled at. You don't have to wear that face here. What face? The one that says you're bracing. I laughed once. Rough. Old habit. Then she said, you never finished school. My stomach tightened. No. Ged? No. She didn't lecture. Do you want to finish? The question hit like a slap. Because I'd spent years believing I didn't get to want things anymore. I work. Mia's in school. And you're smart. That was true 5 years ago. It's still true. She slid a notepad across the table. A plan. 2 hours a night. 4 nights a week. We start small. And if I fail, then you take it again. That was the moment it stopped feeling cozy. It felt like rebellion. Quiet rebellion. The kind that looks like a woman opening a math book and refusing to believe the voice that says she's too late. My schedule became ridiculous. Work early mornings. Mia's drop-off. Study at Dr. Morgan's table. Dinner. Bath. Bedtime. Then another hour with a book I'd been told I didn't deserve. Some nights I wanted to quit. Not because it was hard. Because it made me angry. Angry that my parents stole my education and called it discipline. The first time I passed a GED practice test, Mia cheered. Mom is smart. I snorted. Mom is stubborn. When I passed the real test, I cried in my car. Then community college. I kept my job. Took classes when I could. Lived in the space between not enough time and do it anyway. Dr. Morgan showed up with logistics. A ride when my car wouldn't start. Babysitting when Mia got sick. A calm email when a professor acted like accommodations were a moral failure. I didn't become fearless. I became practiced. Then I transferred back to State University. Walking onto campus felt like stepping into an alternate timeline. One where I hadn't been erased. Student parent life was brutal. Everyone acted like you could be perfect if you just managed your time. As if time management includes materializing childcare. I met other student moms in quiet panic. Always one emergency away from dropping out. So I started helping. A group chat. Shared notes. Babysitting swaps. Dr. Morgan watched it grow. One night, slid an envelope across her table. Funding opportunity. Write a proposal. I'm not qualified. She lifted an eyebrow. You're living it. That's more qualified than most. So I wrote it. We got the grant. Then another. The first time a mom told me this kept me enrolled, I went to the bathroom and cried for exactly 30 seconds. Somewhere in that year, Dr. Morgan's kindness started to feel less like charity and more like choice. Mia's drawings appeared on her fridge. Snacks Mia liked in the pantry. A small toothbrush upstairs. One night, Mia fell asleep with homework on her lap. Dr. Morgan covered her with a blanket and stood there too long. The question slipped out. Why are you doing this? Dr. Morgan watched Mia breathe. I thought I had time. I kept postponing the family part. Career. Tenure. Later. Her voice stayed controlled. Her hand didn't. And then later didn't show up. This house has been quiet for a long time. I made it lighter. So we're your loud little invasion. Her mouth twitched. Something like that. Then she said the part I'll never forget. I chose you. Not because I needed a project. Because no child should grow up believing she's a mistake. My throat closed. By graduation, Mia was 10. old enough to remember the storm like a scar. Ashley was graduating too. Same ceremony. My parents were there for her. Of course. I saw them before they saw me. Felt something old try to rise. An instinct to shrink. It didn't win. Please welcome our student speaker and founder of the Student Parent Support Initiative, Olivia Brooks. I stepped into the light. Ashley was clapping. Then her hands froze. My mom's face drained. My dad leaned forward, staring. I reached the podium. Good evening. I'm Olivia Brooks. I'm a graduate. And I'm a mom. Mia sat near the front with Dr. Morgan. When Mia was 5, my parents looked at me and said, "We are done raising your mistake. Get out and never come back." The room went dead quiet. Heads turned toward where my parents sat frozen. My mom covered her mouth. My dad's hands clenched. Ashley stared at her lap. They took my house key. They pushed bags into my arms. They shut the door while it was snowing sideways. The truth carried itself. I sat in my car with a child asking me if we were going home. And I had to answer like a mother. Even when I felt like a scared kid myself. You could feel the room change. That same night, I got into a minor car accident. Nobody was hurt, but I remember thinking, of course. A few uneasy laughs. The woman who got out of the other car didn't care about the bumper. She asked me one question. "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know." Silence. Heavy. Real. She took us home. She gave us a home. I turned toward the front row. That woman is Dr. Rebecca Morgan. Applause hit fast. Dr. Morgan nodded once, eyes bright. That's why this initiative exists. Because being smart doesn't matter if you don't have childcare. Ambition doesn't matter if one sick day can knock you out. And nobody should have to choose between feeding their kid and finishing a degree. I let it land. If someone has ever called you a mistake, they were wrong. I stepped back. The applause rose. Stronger now. Not polite anymore. My mom was crying openly. My dad stared straight ahead. Ashley couldn't lift her hands. For the first time, they didn't get to control the story. Afterward, they found me. Tears. Apologies. The sudden desperate need to rewrite history. I didn't raise my voice. "I forgive you. But I'm not coming back." They tried. Family is family. I looked at Mia, then at Dr. Morgan. "No," I said quietly. "Family is who shows up." And I walked away. Not angry. Not triumphant. Just done. Because my life wasn't a punishment anymore. It was mine. Everyone loves to say, but they're your parents. Until they're the ones getting thrown out in a snowstorm. I forgave them. I just didn't hand them access to my life. Thanks for listening, and if this story resonates with you, don't forget to comment and subscribe for more stories about resilience, second chances, and finding family in unexpected places. Family isn't always the one you're born into. Sometimes it's the one that chooses you when you need it most.